Do you mind if we ask you some questions?
No, not at all. Come in.
So we're in the lab. Can we ask you some questions?
So, why is protecting the environment important to you?
We have to live in the environment that we make, so why wouldn't we want to protect it?
Very true.
And at the same time, I like animals and plants and mountains, and so I quite like to protect those things, really.
Good to hear.
When and why did you decide to become vegan?
Well, I've been vegetarian for a very long time, and I decided to become vegan in July last year. So it's for lots of reasons, really. I decided to become vegan because I thought it was the best way of doing my bit for climate change and the environment generally. Also for protecting animals. I don't think they're particularly well treated, even in best cases. And I think it's like the easiest way to be healthy as well.
Do you face any challenges as a vegan?
There's plenty to eat as a vegan. I can eat any vegetable, any fruit, any nut, any pulse, any root. I can eat almost anything, in fact, except meat.
Do you miss eating meat products?
So sometimes I miss maybe cheese, because I used to like cheese quite a lot.
Respectable.
So, yeah. So when it's difficult, it's really only difficult because, of course, you have to go out to restaurants where not everyone's vegan, or eat with friends who are not vegan. So then it's a little bit trickier.
Yeah.
It's not too
Do you take any other steps towards protecting the environment?
I try to do whatever I can, like every day really. I try to not use things that get thrown away. I try not to buy things that I don't really need. I drive a car which is efficient rather than big and powerful.
Yeah.
Do you believe it's important to buy local produce rather than imported food?
I don't think we can stop buying imported food because I don't think that's fair on people that are producing across the world. But I think that there's a balance to be had, so I think we should buy anything that can be produced locally. I think we should buy locally. But things that we'd quite like to have, like bananas or chocolate or coffee, I think it's perfectly reasonable to buy.
Do you think buying organic products is essential for the environment?
See, I think organic, it kind of depends where. Maybe it depends on the country, it depends on the organic product. So if you buy organic food which is bought in like big quantities and you fill up your containers and then you take it home, I think that's great. But quite often organic things, in order to be organic or to keep its flavour and things like that, quite often it's in like loads and loads of packaging. Like you buy 2 burgers with like 4 layers of packaging, and that's not ecological. So organic doesn't necessarily mean ecological. It ought to, but it doesn't always, I think.
What about transport? Do you rely mostly on a car or do you ever fly anywhere?
I use a car quite a bit to get to work. It's not that often, not that easy to use public transport. Trains are really expensive. Maybe not to come to work, but it's expensive to go very far in a train. So I have a quite an efficient car. When I'm at home in the evenings or on the weekend, then I use the bus all the time. And I do fly. I'm trying to reduce the amount of flight. I'm actually really trying, but it's not easy.
Do you use natural products such as solid shampoo or a bamboo toothbrush?
I actually have a plastic toothbrush, but it's like got a removable, replaceable head.
Oh, okay.
So you just replace a little bit. Instead, I did notice like the bamboo ones or the wooden ones, or whatever, they quite often, I don't know if you noticed, but they're bamboo, but they're made in China. So it's like, there's a balance to be had actually with things like that. So it's tricky. And I don't use shampoo at all, ever.
What do you use?
Water. And I've got lovely hair. So.
What do you do to avoid using single-use plastics?
So I try, when I buy things, I try to use my own containers when I can. So go to the organic shop, take your own containers. They're absolutely fine with that. I try not to buy takeaway most of the time because it always involves lots and lots of containers. Or I buy takeaway, like if I buy an Indian, we've got lots of the teachers have these. They've got like the what they call them, like lunchbox cans stacked up. So we use those each Friday.
And bento boxes are good.
For example. So little things like that, I think. I can't remember what the question was. how do I not waste things? I try not to buy things that I don't really need.
Yeah.
And I try to make things last longer and buy good quality things rather than like cheap things which won't last very long.
Do you think governments are doing enough to prevent the climate crisis?
No, not at all. No, I think winning elections and the economy is still sort of a priority of most governments. I think you have to remember, like, governments only last like 4 or 5 years on the whole before they get re-elected. So something really long term, like the climate, I think never quite makes #1 priority. And I think it ought to be pretty clear that it should be #1 priority now.
What could others do to aid the climate cause at home?
I think it's a bit like I said. I think everyone can do things like try to buy things which last longer. Try not to buy things that we don't actually need just because we fancy them. Try not to use things made of plastic that we're going to throw away. Try to use buses instead of cars. Maybe don't make a journey that we don't really need to make. Take a train instead of flying. It's definitely possible, even if it does mean you have to make a sacrifice.
Yeah.
What about in the school community?
In school, we could do some things, like we could recycle a lot more. For example, we recycle paper, but I'm not sure we recycle anything else. Perhaps we could recycle. But maybe we could just like help, a bit like you're doing, like create a climate where like we're supporting each other and like doing the right thing is cooler than like wearing the latest designer product. For example, like, it's actually cool to do the right thing.
So you think small changes can have a big impact?
Yes and no. I think like sometimes we think about making small changes and then we look at the climate impact of, say, taking a flight, for example, and you realise that actually what you've just done is almost irrelevant compared to some of the big things that you can't really do very much about. But actually, if we all make small changes, then actually we change attitudes. And if governments see that everyone's making small changes, then they'll make the bigger changes. So maybe small changes does work. And the reason I said no is we're often in adverts we're told like we can all make small changes, but actually why make small changes? Why can't we actually make big changes? Like Greta Thunberg has shown that you can make big changes. So why settle for small changes? It's not that difficult to do big things.
Very good point. Is that all the questions?
Yeah.
Thank you very much for
You're very
talking
welcome.
to us today.